So, some of my more effective or most effective spells, actually, have been the ones that I never actually performed. How does that work, one may wonder? Well, stick around and I will let you know. Welcome back, my friends. I'm Witch Hazel, and today we are talking spell work. Very popular topic because don't us witches just love doing spells? I mean, they are the greatest thing ever, are they not? But what I have noticed is I tend to not do them very often. And here is why. I know that I have previously spoken about intention in spell work and ritual work. And as I recall, that wasn't one of my more favorable videos, meaning not a whole lot of people were interested. And I'm thinking that's because many of the people looking for spell videos are looking for all of the things. We want to do the physical actions. We want all the bits and pieces, the cards and the crystals and the herbs and the candles. We want those things. And that's perfectly fine. I believe I've mentioned in the past, again, all of this was so long ago. I hope I find some videos to link to, but I may not. That's perfectly fine. In fact, it is probably preferable, especially if you are starting out in witchcraft, to get a feel for spell casting, because it's not as though, unless you are a hereditary witch, it's not as though we were ever raised to cast spells. Many of us may have been raised to pray, which is good because those are essentially the same things, different verbiage. But I won't go into that at the moment. So what I'm getting at is we like to have the things because it gives us a focus, especially when we are trying something new that we're not used to. But here's the thing about it. As mentioned before, all you really need to work an effective spell is to put your intention out for it. That's the most important part. And what I have found is that the spells I have put together, which have worked the best, were not necessarily actually carried out. I put a lot of time and effort into my research, into choosing what I wanted to use and why I wanted to use it. I made all the connections and relationships in my own rationale for why I would do things a certain way. And I put it all out beautifully on paper. Maybe I typed it up. I did all the things. I gathered my materials in most cases. But I know there were distinct times when I did not actually perform the spell. Not the way that I had intended to, not necessarily with all the things, maybe not completely, but it worked anyway. Why? Here is my thought and theory on that. I write. It's what I do. It's my favorite thing. I enjoy writing. Words for me are so very powerful. Words are enchantments, and they have been since I was a little kid. Just putting the letters together, creating something out of letters which are essentially valueless on their own, and then arranging them like puzzle pieces into sentences and stanzas and rhymes and what have you. It's really, for me, it can become very much meditative and very much a massive focus of my attention. And because of that, I believe it is that initial focus and intent that I put into the structuring of the spell I want to perform that makes it effective, that makes it powerful. Now, writing is my specific thing that I enjoy, that I have a bit of a talent for. It's the thing that I have always done. For other people, it may be something else. For example, I did a spell once, and I believe I have a video on it, about art as spell work. There was one particular spell I did which involved creating a very badly done picture painting of my home because I was in another state at the time and I had to work some magic for this property and I couldn't physically get there to do it. So that worked very effectively for me. For people who are naturally artistic in that way, that might be a good focus of your intent and talent in order to create magic. So that would be an option. For other people, if you sing, if you dance, it becomes a focus. It is the thing that takes up all of your vital energy for that amount of time. And the rest of the world just kind of drops away. And that's the kind of bubble you want to create. Magical circle, yes? Correlations. When you perform your spells. It can be the same thing for someone who likes handcrafts, spinning, knitting, weaving, sewing, anything like that. So here is my invitation for thought for all of you. If your spell work is maybe not working out as well as you would like, and you are doing all the things, you are either creating your own spells, or if you're just starting out, maybe you're using other people's spells to get a feel for it. If you have tried multiple different things and your spells just aren't working out quite well, then stop to think about what are your unique talents. What are those things you do in life which bring you the most peace, the most focus, the things which really kind of create that Zen mode, that meditative mode for you. It could even be housework, it could be cooking, kitchen witches, whatever it is, your unique interest and talent. See how you can use that to create your spells, to do your spells. And test it out, give it a try. Find some small spell work to do with that talent and see if you enjoy it. The other additional bonus to doing things this way is that very often it is more comfortable to do things this way, that it requires some action which you enjoy or are good at. For example, again, going back to me and writing out the spell, that is far easier for me than to go through a formal ritual spell or formal spell work, because even when I'm alone, even if there's nobody around me, I don't like the sound of my voice, so I don't like reciting the incantations that I made, even though I loved creating them. I think they're beautiful. I don't want to say them. I don't like hearing my voice. I'm not much of an actor, and so it just feels very foreign to me to go through the motions of performing a spell. Even when I think it's a massively beautiful spell, it loses something when I try to do it that way. All right, so that is my topic for today. Spell work and intention and finding your innate talent to make your spells 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times more effective by doing it in a way that you are comfortable with. Have you tried this already? Let me know. Do you want to try this? Also let me know. I am always up for hearing all of your experiments and the results, so please do leave a comment below if that's the case. And until next week, I will bid you adieu and say blessed be everyone. Thanks for joining me.